morning. I just had this idea. We're always wasting money on food. So I'm going to have a go at trying to eat just food from my garden for the weekdays, because I know it's impossible to do it all the time. Probably mostly out of willpower, but also we don't have that much. But we've got a lot of food, so we'll walk around and have a look at that. This I've called 5 herbs or Prince of Herbs. I think some people call it Queen of Herb, but that's a different thing. I think. Anyway, we had a house sitter while we were away, and I think she's put this in here, and it's rooting away, so I've got to get it in the ground. It's like it's just really super herby. So you can see it's a little bit fuzzy, and it's like using mixed herbs. So you can't really use very much, and you can't do it in everything because you get sick of that. I've got a lot of aloe vera around. I usually only use it for skin stuff, but I guess I'll have to look at making some juice. Apparently that's good. That's kangkong, an Asian, I think it's an Asian green. Loves growing in the water. It's got a hollow stem. I think it's nice to stir fry. I don't really use it. I've always grown it, like everything. Not really used it. This is turmeric. I've got lots of pots of that around, but I added it to the pond because I can. Turmeric's really good for you, so there's that. Here's my sad little garden beds. I don't do anything with them, and maybe that's why I decided to do this project, just to try and make the most of it. So there's some more turmeric. I've got heaps of pots around the front as well, so turmeric lattes, here we come. I'm not stopping coffee, by the way, and I'll probably accept food gifts and swaps, and hopefully I can forage or fish or something. That would be cool. This is basil, ordinary basil, so that's great. Now, someone put this in for me, and I don't know what it is. I think my house sitter put it in. I should know, but I don't, and I think you can eat it. If you know, let me know. It's obviously like been cut off and stuck in the ground and has, got itself rooted. I feel like it starts with an A. I don't know. Anyway, got some teeny tiny little eggplants. Eggplant, or what's the other word? Aubergine. And that is small. Lucky it's just me. No one else in my family will do this. In here, this is the seedling of the neem tree. And even there's neem growing here in this vine up the fence. It's terrible, but you can eat this. My Cambodian friend makes a kind of a salad with prawns and cucumber, and neither of which I have. And neem. And neem's meant to help you get rid of any like intestinal worms and things like that. The kids sometimes will just eat a leaf. When they're new, the leaves are like pinkish, and they're a little bit more tender than the big leaves. I don't know if I'll be eating that, but I might have to try. Anyway, like I said, they're kind of a weird. They grow up in here all the time because of that tree. There is kangkong in here as well. So it grows in the water, and there's its pretty flower, and in the ground. I did see some beans. I grew beans ages ago. That might be the weed. That might be a real Bean, where's a bean? I picked a bean just the other day. Maybe that was it. Oh yeah. Okay, so there are beans, and I guess they might pop up more if I look after them. That doesn't look so good. I might have to pull them out. I don't know what that is. And the other thing that's in here, it's too early, is sweet potato, which is what I was holding one of before, and I'll get one more. I wish they were bigger. See if I can find one more for my dinner. That's not. This is sweet potato leaves, so I'll look down where there's something going into the ground. This might be fruitless. What a fluke to have found that other one. Maybe I need to bury the leaves with, because if there's no more potatoes, what will I do? What will I eat? Oh! Oh, this one. Look at that. I'll be happy with that. But they've got so much more growing they can do. That I am happy with. One of these needs, please. I'm not sure if I'll use the lemongrass, but I've got some things to make like a mash, eggy mash, and I think that will deserve some of that curd. This is Brazilian spinach, I think. There's lots of types of spinach. It grows under the tap here because it likes to be juicy wet. You can pick bits off and stick it in the ground and it will regrow. It's really easy and dark green, so super good. It's a mulberry tree. Occasionally we see like one mulberry. So that's not going to do anything for me about this little tangent project I'm on, but it's good to know. It'll happen one day. This is a guava tree. Just a few weeks ago there was lots on, but there's none on at the moment. I'm not sure if I can do anything about it to make them come back. They're not my favourite fruit, but they're good. This skinny fellow here is moringa, or drumstick tree. It looks a bit sad actually. The leaves are edible. I think, pretty sure all the parts of the plant can be used, but I don't. I don't know enough about it. The leaves aren't tasty, they're fairly bitter, and then it grows this seed pod which comes down like a three-sided seed pod thing, and it's quite woody and dense, but cooked up in curry. My Indian friend does a quite amazing job. It's delicious. These poor things are on their way out. I'm going to have to dry them or do something, but this will be my breakfast. They're quite brown, but if you know anything about eating a banana, that's when they're most sweet. So, bon appetit. That's where our bananas came from. I'm going to have to get another species or whatever you call, strain or something, I think, because those were quite dense. The seeds were like kind of, it's a lot to chew in the middle. That's just the type, just a bit sweet. I'm thinking maybe had those seeds spread out a bit more. I put this in thinking lemongrass, but someone tells me it might be citronella because lemongrass doesn't grow this big. I'm probably still going to use it as lemongrass. I don't think it will be toxic. It's way too early in the morning for me to come up with this side a little bit. So that's the part you would like slice up and or bruise to put through some food. It's deliciously lemongrassy. So since I picked it, I'll take it with me. Might be lunch. Don't know what I'm creating with these. We've got some pineapples there, and of course I showed you the eggs. So we've got a chicken house. I decided to pick some moringa, and actually it's got quite a nutty, what is that? Nutty. Nutty is all I can think of to describe it, but it's not quite, it's like something else. Anyway, decided it's time to do something about these bananas, bananos. They're just perfect right now. I don't want to waste that moment, so I might throw some in the dehydrator and freeze some for smoothies or sweet mash or something. So I think that's my dinner tonight. Sweet potatoes, turmeric, an egg, some herbs, and neem. Anyone who's tried neem knows this is like bitter, and that's about it. Oh, I didn't mention I do have a little, I don't know, maybe that's a pumpkin over there, but it doesn't look very happy. Also, that's a pawpaw, and I believe it's, I don't know what it is, it hasn't made any fruit. The other one just fell over. And I think that's a tiny little guava tree. Oh, it could be guava. I originally thought it was perhaps another custard apple. We've got a custard apple tree way up there, and any fruit we have not been able to successfully obtain. Maybe this year though, because we cut a branch off. Way up there, and any fruit we have not been able to successfully obtain. I did read, or hear somewhere, maybe my friend Wendy Driver actually figured it out. You wrap bananas in foil, and then you can put them in the fridge. And when you take them out, the skins will be brown. They're already brown. But inside they're kept fresh. Don't know why it's foil, but I'll put some like that. Some in my basket for today and tomorrow. And many in the freezer for drying. I've just found, this is near my house, a moringa tree that's actually older and it's fruiting. So we'll jump up and get some drumsticks. Okay, so here's the drumsticks. Don't actually look like chicken drumsticks. And there's some flowers, I believe. You can do something with them. Grandma, I'm just taking a quick video. Usually big is better, not with drumsticks. That's too big and it will be like tough. You almost never can eat the outside part anyway, even though you put it in the dish and you kind of just take the soft part off with your teeth. But I'll try and pick a couple.
One is fell.
Alright, pick it up. So we just got these.
We just got these.
Do you want to say what I said about how there's the skinny ones and fat ones?
There's skinny ones like fat ones. This is...
I probably would have preferred to get something in between these two sizes, but it seems like there's old growth and brand new baby growth. I think the baby ones will be nice, but I don't want to pick all the little ones now because they'll make more food when they grow a little bit more. Okay. Makes me think actually I need to, let's spin this around. No, I can't. This, all these different types of food is making me think that I can't do this without using like herbs and spices that I already have in my cupboard. Otherwise I can't really make, I don't have chili, but I've got some chili flakes at home. So I think I can't do this without using a few condiments that I already have. But the food, the sustenance, definitely I'm eating what I find and grow. So I think this week will be fun. Hi, so I've come down to the beach to get some salt. I've got no salt. I'll show you the little rock hole. Like, oh, this is starting to fill up.
Yeah, like this. And this. And it's all salt.
Okay, so there is salt here, but these rocks aren't really facilitating collecting it. So I've just got some water and I'll have to boil it to get the residual salt that way. But I think there's some rocks around the other side. I'll try another day to get more salt. Anyway, it feels like Happy Sunday, but it's actually Happy Public Holiday Monday. At school enjoying my very undelicious food that tasted kind of soapy, and I'm not sure if that was the turmeric or what, but our school where I work has lots of edibles, so I'm going to collect sweet leaf, perhaps a green pawpaw, some beans. One of the other teachers already gave me some beans. That's a guava from home that I forgot to eat because I was enjoying my meal so much earlier. And sweet leaf, there's heaps more Brazilian spinach here, so I'll get some of that as well. Yeah, so off I go, gathering. This week's personal challenge happened on a whim. I decided very early Monday, public holiday Monday morning, that I would do this challenge where I would only eat the foods which I would grow and find. And then I changed my mind and decided to add that I was allowed to eat some spices. And so last night I added some chili powder. I think that's really nothing. And if I went down to the community gardens, I could get chili myself. But it just worked out that way. So today is day 2. Yesterday was a failure, and last night's dinner was lunch today, and that's how it's going to go because I work at the school. I can't be making food while I'm at work. So I've just there was zero planning in this, so my garden isn't quite up to scratch for, you know, all my little sweet potatoes are like this instead of big, and I'm really worried about getting hungry. Thankfully, I've got this amazing place where I work where just about everything in the garden is edible. So I'll just go over, flip this camera around and go over what I just collected. This is called sweet leaf. Tastes very much like peas. These ones actually look a bit sad, like they could do with some more water. And they were in full sun too. But you can cut this and stick it in the ground and it regrows anywhere. It's quite amazing. Green food, awesome. I did just pick this green pawpaw, which will, you know, I can stir fry or soup that, or even roast actually, but I haven't got much else to roast, so I'm not sure what to do with it yet, but it's edible. I wanted to show you this. This is called pigeon pea, or at least people around here call it pigeon pea. And due to my amazing planning, there are 0 pigeon peas that are ready. They're just flowering. There's a pod, and it's teeny tiny. But inside there is these little peas, and you can dry them out and use them basically like a legume. You could eat them like this, cooked, or yeah, like use it like a, what am I thinking of? Like a lentil, I guess. So I just wanted to show that. Can't eat it though. I guess the flowers might be edible. Just collected all this. There's lots of it down here somewhere. This is called Thai coriander. It smells amazing, like coriander of course, which will go in a nice maybe spicy soup, or even to zhuzh up a salad with some lime juice, because I've got those limes at home. I mean, lots of the guys online who are doing this self-sufficient for a period of time, whatever, are well planned. They've got all the storage down, they've got all the things and all the food groups covered. Oh, there's a little pigeon pea pod. But look, I can already feel that that's empty. Like they're either not grown or a bug has got in and eaten them. Anyway, basil, amazing salad flavour and or base with something. I just realised how everything is green. Anyway, basil is good. This is that Brazilian spinach I also grow at home. There's quite a lot of that. It has not much flavour, just tastes like a green food, which is fab. This I need to get the name of again. I believe it's called something or other ginseng, even though it's not related to ginseng, oddly enough, but people call it that. Pretty sure you can eat, I mean, I know you can eat it, but I'm not sure if it's like ginseng where you just have a leaf or whatever. This tastes like, it's a bit like a soursop, like those little things I used to eat as a kid with the yellow, like tubular type flower and a tubular stem, and maybe four leaves coming off the stalk. Kind of like that. Actually, a tiny bit bitter as well. Soursums were just sour, not bitter. All right, here's some more sweet leaf. This one is really lush because it was growing in the shade. Isn't that amazing? Same plant. You can see how it grows differently. And there's the 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4, 5, 6. 6 beans. Chili beans, I'm told, is quite good. If I go to the beach and get a coconut, that would be nice. Coconut milk, fat, that would be all good. Anyway, I've got all these things. Don't know if I'm going to eat that or just get the name of it to remind myself. That one, sweet leaf, doesn't quite fit in the bag. Over here, I dug this up thinking it was ginger, but it doesn't smell very gingery. I know it'll be related to ginger, they all are. I think maybe I'm hoping that it's galangal, or however you say that thing, which is, it smells quite floral and less spicy. I'm willing to have a go and not die if I need some more like sweetish flavour. And speaking of sweet, look what we grow. I don't think I'd die without this, but it's a beautiful little blessing. This is sugar cane, and I just snapped a little bit off that hopefully no one will notice. And multitasking with one hand and one mouth, but I mean, you can squeeze it and get the juice, but mostly this is going to be like a snack, I think, where I can just like chew on this kind of like wood and then spit out the pulp. Actually, that's really good. Spit out the pulp once all the juice is out. So here's the beginning of this crazy week. Yay for tangents. Afternoon day 2, and I just found this in my garden, and I dropped a piece of it, and I forgot all about this. It's actually a ginger, and the whole thing's edible apparently. I'll just it's got these funny little roots, and you know, like a normal ginger root. Anyway, thank goodness for that, because that's going to make something into a stir fry later. So I just found this. I started chopping it and then I realised I should show you. It's a tiny little eggplant that I just found randomly on a jar. I think, like beside the fridge, and I think my daughter has picked this too early, but in my pot it goes because I did grow it, even though I technically haven't picked it in this time. See what I made? Delicious. No.
That's what Dad made.
That's what the rest of the family is eating tonight. Oh! Spaghetti bolognese. Just drop it. So, here's me about to cook. Now, this is the only thing I've used as an addition so far because I can get chilies if I want them, and I will tomorrow, but I've just been really busy. So I don't feel like I'm going outside of the scope which is truly accessible to me, despite wanting to use much more. I'm just using this. Spice up your life. I do have that little bit of ginger and Thai coriander, which looks like I didn't chop it at all. I should say spinach leaves and pawpaw flowers. These spinach leaves will certainly take out a bit of the interesting flavour. If they're dead boring, it should be a nice balance. Actually, it smells really good, like normal spinach. To be honest, I've had this stuff in my garden and just haven't really used it. So, good little project all round, getting me healthy and using up stuff that I have. So I'll just let that go a bit more and show you the product in a few minutes. I think I won't starve on this. It has to taste better than yesterday's and like today's lunch, last night's dinner food. And I just realised I need to save some of this for lunch, so I'll put some more pawpaw to thin it out a bit. Make that chilli go further. After a little taste test, I did decide it's way too chilli and it doesn't need another flavour, it needs more balance. So I just chopped up some little bits of sugar cane, which is divine, and I'm going to put that in like this. There it is. In it goes. Still got a bit of that skin on, but I mean, for the most part, the tough bits I'm going to spit out. But I do hope we get some sugars out of that, which will do so much to balance my taste. I did no research about recipes, and I'm not like most people don't eat my food because they think I put random things together. Anyway, it doesn't look too bad, right? My mouth is still burning a little. I hope I get some sweetness through. Sorry about the camera all over the place. I never can tell if I should be looking at the screen or my actual food, like the dish. Actually, that's yummy. Well, the bean is anyway. So, let me see me eat it in a minute. Okay, so just before I eat, I put the rest of this half. So I've got half of the little pawpaw there still. That's my rest of my family's dinner. So the pan's still hot, and that will just be my lunch with the chilli cooked in, diluted a bit more, so that I don't die at work eating in front of the children. But that should be alright. And here's my serve. It's not a big bowl, they're cute little bowls. I think it's a Jamie Oliver bowl. Look at that. The little version. Fork in there, let's go. Mm. Morning number 3, and oh gosh, that is the leftovers of night number 1, which I cannot enjoy. So we'll see if anybody else wants to eat it. Come over here, girls. Chop, chop, chop. Let's see if they like moringa and random things. Oh, there's a bit of sweet potato in there. I could have eaten that. Go on, girls. Psst. Sonny, get out of it. Sonny, puss, puss. Come on. He's alright, he's lovely. This is tyke. And this funny one I call long neck or roadrunner. The kids, I think she has another name as well. This little one, I think is called chocolate. And that one's called coffee lid, and I don't get it. Maybe her little top part is like coffee. I don't know. She's called coffee lid. They're trying to get into it, I think. Anyway, waste not, want not. The show must go on. Last night I went to the jetty to collect the second lot of salt water to try and boil down, so I have salt. The finding it way rather than using it from the cupboard. And I was talking to some fishermen, and I've decided I have to try and catch a fish, or maybe just hang around when someone catches something they don't want, because fish would be really nice right now. Anyway, oh, I'm so glad they're happy. There's an egg stirred through that, which they're loving. Don't think they're that keen about those drumsticks. But the egg is getting chowed down. Tyke just chased the cat. The cat's trying to sneak up. Look, the little one's coming in because the cat scared away the big chooks. I don't know, I don't think I'd count her as a baby anymore. She's just little. Some type of fancy chicken. Anyway, they're all happy. And Mitzi's come down too. Hello! Hello, Mitzi. Anyway, I've got some stir fry, and I freaked out last night thinking that my stir fry might be too boring today, so I even put sweet leaf, lime, and my last bean together as and grated. I grated some of that green pawpaw, so it's kind of like salad. Boring, but a salad. I'm gonna have to go to the community garden today and maybe try fishing. Peace out. Ocean. Oh, there's ocean. We're it's almost 7 o'clock, and I would love some dinner. I would love it to be some seafood. So, did someone jump in? Yep, someone jumped in the water. Did not expect that. So we're trying to catch some fish, hopefully, so I don't have to eat anything like just green stuff again another day. I ate lots of egg today because I just couldn't bring myself to eat any more green stuff. Wish us luck. So it's 8:30 at night, and I've got some grumpy children
who really want to go home. But look what I did. Light. Where is the light? There you go. Upside down. Garfish. 2 little garfish. They are small, but apparently there's no size limit here. So I'm not going hungry. Night. Smells terrible. Alright, we'll have a try. See if I can't remember how to do this. What's a pirate's favourite fish? Garfish. Down. Oh, is that roe? Garfish roe. You know, I have to try it. That. My favourite fish. My favourite colour. Amazing. Sure, I can clean that up better, but I'm not even worried. 'Cause it's food. How's that? Okay. It's so late, I should be asleep. Anyway. Where's the camera? Scale. It's roe. I got a bit of muck on that first lick, but it's actually delicious.
It's Thursday morning and on Monday I put these bananas inside here because I think they were going to last better than on the bench. Here's some ukulele background music. Here's some that I left on the bench and they're very sad. I froze the rest, but these were left behind. We'll have a look on the inside in a minute. And I'll insert here video of bananas when they went in. And here is bananas now. Still firm. I have a feeling they look the same, which is fabulous because I need some sugars. I'm really not okay. I've been actually having a little nibble of the kids' lunches. And okay, sure, there's a little bit of bruising. So that's the sweet bits, right? Not bad at all. Oh. Oh my gosh. There is salt. And I'm fogged up. Anyway, there's the salt. Just heating up this pan that I cooked half a fish in last night. Leftover soup and barley from school. I figured it's okay to use up the leftovers. Oh, there's the road. Oh no, that's pumpkin. Where's my rose? Here it is. I did eat a bit more last night. I should use the small what's changing colour. I'm so glad I have this. This is like second best meal I've eaten all week. The best meal was today, eating soup. Definitely needs some planning.
Yeah, that's it. Very nice. Don't want to overcook it. Although you can cook it more and the bones break down a bit. See how that bit can break? It's a tiny bit raw in the middle still. Once it's cooked, I'm putting it up top. It's not a very green meal today, but it makes up for the very green meals I have had. There's no salt in this today. Look at that. Now you can see it. There is salt in them there pots. Huh. It's more than I thought. So let's just salt that a little. Call it done. So I'm going to catch some more fish today while the big girls at Scouts.
I'm not going to make you go on the toilet. And you need to go to lie.
Okay, I'll come with you just right after I do this food for my dinner. Can you see I'm making a video? So I just cooked that little garfish I caught, and I put it with a bit of barley that was left over from lunch at school, the school lunch. And today I had to eat with the children. On the other days I don't eat the food that I make with them, but on Thursdays I do, just because the routine's a tiny bit different. So I got to eat it. I didn't eat it on the other days because I felt like taking it out of the room, and I didn't have to eat it. It was a bit cheatish. Look at that. Okay, maybe it doesn't look that great. Oh, I've got a tail. I'm not going to eat the tail on my tasting mouthful. I'm so excited. Trying to show. There's joy in my mouth right there. So much. Garfish, a little bit of pumpkin and salt and
some barley,
oh look,
some skull.
okay, here's the cooked roe. Garfish roe. Remember I was eating some of my food.
And some of the tail.
It's less fishy and more girl, more so weird but eggy. I'm putting the tail back in the pan. Can't eat it unless it's crispy.
Go near the fridge.
I just suck the meat off, but I'm gonna crispify that in the pan. I'll let you know if I catch any fish tonight. I'm just home for from an hour and a half fishing, thinking I was going to get lucky with all the garfish in the world. Didn't catch any. Got one rock cod, which I'm told is good when they're bigger, but this was small, so I threw it straight back. But in hindsight, there's no size limit, and I should have kept it if I was actually hungry. I feel alright after that barley and garfish dinner, and I would add that I meant to clean the rest of the scales off the garfish before cooking it, and I completely forgot, so I was doing a lot of spitting with that meal. I met a guy, Roger, hi Roger, fishing down there at the Rapid Creek little platform thing, and he shared with me some bait fish, 2 mullet, half. I used 1.5, the other half is going in my bait container in the freezer. This pilchard was caught half an hour before. He called it a pilchard, to me it's not, but I don't know, I trust him. He said it was caught half an hour before he gave it to me. It's got a bit of rigor mortis about to set in, I reckon. Dried up. Anyway, I'm going to eat this tomorrow. It is literally so small, look at my hand. But it's better than no fish. So, good night. Remember this? It's now my freezer bait container. That's 1 kilo of flour. I don't know exactly what that is in mils, like of liquid. I'm sure that's Googleable. Anyway, that was full of seawater.
It's got turned into salt.
Can you see how much salt I have? I'll scrape it into a container.
What?
But I'm so excited, look at it. Oh wow. That's thicker than I thought. Damn. No, it's a tiny bit damp. Oh man, that's salty salt. Who would have thought?
That's a lot of salt.
Ocean and I, turn it that way a bit, made a guess. How much salt would we get from the jar? Ocean guessed so close. I didn't. I actually thought there would be not that much salt, but which is crazy because I know how salty salt water is. I just never thought about volume before. I mean, it's crazy. That's definitely like maybe 3 tablespoons.
Wow.
You reckon? Had a guess? Like 3 sweet spoons?
Yeah, maybe.
And all we caught tonight was midgie bites, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I had 2, no, 4.
You got one
big
on your
bites.
head.
What? A bite?
Or a donk, not sure. Anyway, so good. It's almost 11 o'clock on day 5. I survived, did not die. Payload. I think this is called a cocky apple. Let's see if you can see the seeds. Anyway, I had an egg for breakfast and now I'm really starving. And I was just leaving school randomly in the middle of the day because I don't work today, but I dropped in. And one of the children hands me this bag because she heard about the project experiment challenge. And she said, we picked this stuff from our garden, you can eat it. Blessing. I have half a grapefruit. What else has she put in here? And pawpaw. Oh, it might. Oh, it's even going to be orange inside. It's got some, I don't know what they're called. They're little tiny bugs on it, but So sometimes they don't get ripe properly because the sun can't get to it due to these bugs. And this tree will probably fall over soon, at a guess. Lani, this tree will probably fall over soon with all those bugs. Oh, I've got a kaffir lime. And I've got that little pilchard thing. So I might do something. A little bit of dressing. Oh, starfruit. Usually eat them when they're yellow, but I might have to chop this up for a salad. And I've got more fruits. So, the other day I thought, you know, like, if you got no money, you can totally like not starve and, you know, even go to Salvo's and get a food voucher, like, rarely, and you would like be okay even if you have no money. But that was the most ridiculous thing for me to think. I mean, people who have no money oftentimes, I think, have no or minimal other resources. How stupid of me to think that someone could do this, have fishing gear and go fishing, or have a garden which has food, or have friends who have gardens which have food, or have a fridge to keep it in, or a pan and a stove and electricity to cook it in. Like, anyway, I just want to say, a homeless person or a person with minimal resources would not be able to do this and survive. That's stupid. But for me, it was a little lesson about the money spent on food, which is out of this world, really, since I've spent nothing on food this week and not even gone out. I didn't even go to the community garden in the end, which would have given me so much food. Overeating. I lost maybe 2 kilos. That's a cool thing. And it's not like I didn't need to lose it, let's be honest. I did have another point I wanted to say. I feel good. I haven't had like all the grains that I usually have. I feel light. I did not feel hungry. Didn't feel hungry at all. There was one moment, I think it was on the morning of the day that I ate the eggs. Like, I maybe had 2.5 eggs or something because they were halved for the children and they were left over. That morning I got up with a bit of vertigo from being down getting something out of the cupboard, and I had a bit of vertigo, and I thought, oh, is that just because I was down there and not breathing properly, or is that because I should have been eating more? But my belly didn't go like, you're starving. I still have a bit of sweet leaf and grated pawpaw and lime, kind of a like salad in the fridge that when I got sick of the green stuff, I was done with green stuff. And the weather's just changed, so I've got all dry and I really want to eat some fats. But yeah, I can totally spend less money and be healthier with food. So, bon appetit. Hope you like this challenge. I did, amazingly. I did it on a whim. I'm sorry I'm a bit like flat through the whole thing. I got a bit, I guess sometimes when I do these challenges for myself, I do it as subconscious distraction from stuff. So I actually wasn't in the best mood when I started, but it did its job in more ways than one. Here's to good food.